Nick, let's talk about this big time Monday night matchup for the Bengals. They're going up against divisional rivals, the Cleveland Browns. As always, AFC North rivalry games, Battle of the Titans is going to be a slugfest. This is going to be a different kind of football. Every time AFC North opponents meet up, it gets nasty. Things happen, and these two teams are no strangers to this. And also, side note, Nick, I think it's very interesting that the NFL picked two orange-colored teams to play on Halloween. I don't think that was a coincidence, so go figure. But before we get into the story of why we think the Bengals have a good opportunity here tonight against the Browns, we got to ask the fans in the comments below. Let us know, what is your prediction for this game? Is it going to be a shootout? Is it going to be a classic AFC North slugfest like 3-6? Is it going to be anything different than what we think it could be? Let us know in the comments below what you think the final score of this game is going to be tonight. But Nick, what do you got on the Bengals?
Yeah, so obviously with Jamar Chase being sidelined, there's a lot of question marks, at least in the media, about how effective this offense is going to be. But one of the things looking about the Bengals going into this Browns matchup is the fact of the matter remains, this is not just a Jamar Chase explosive offense. This is Joe Burrow kind of at his going into his prime here. We've seen his growth last year, obviously carrying the team to a Super Bowl. But I think what he's done this season, we talked about it in one of the videos we did last week, the adjustments that Zach Taylor has made, getting Burrow out of more in the gun, getting more control, moving away from the bootlegs that are kind of part of that Zach Taylor, Sean McVay coaching tree offense and letting Burrow take control. I think we're going to see that against the Cleveland Browns team that, look, they're 2-5, but they're a lot better than their record, right? If you take away 3 special teams miscues, not handling the onside kick against the Jets, the field goal against the Ravens, and the field goal against the Chargers, this Browns team's 5-2, right? First place in the division. So when it comes to this roster on offense and defense, this is a really good Browns football team. But I think that, where the money and the power brokers in the NFL looking at Las Vegas here is that they believe in Joe Burrow even without Jamar Chase, because the Bengals are a 3-point road division favorite. Look, that doesn't sound like a lot, but that is actually unheard of, especially in AFC North matchups where you have a road team be a 3-point favorite. That's saying what that's saying from Vegas is, because the home team usually gets a 3-point advantage, is that means they think the Bengals without Jamar Chase, which basically means Joe Burrow, are 6 points better than a really good Cleveland Browns roster. I think it's a great sign for the Bengals, and I'm looking for them to have a big matchup, big game for Burrow against this Browns defense.
Yeah, Nick, and that's the key here, the Browns defense. That's the thing you need to look at. But I think that the Browns defense, they're kind of weak in the middle of the D-line. Obviously, the two outside guys, Garrett and Clowney, are elite players. They got some good linebackers as well in Owosu Koromoa, or however you pronounce his name, and Taki Taki. They have some interesting name linebackers. But the Bengals, this offensive line is much improved. They're playing a lot better. They're getting up to speed. I think they're starting to gel. So I think they can maybe keep this Browns defense at bay a little bit, give them time. And like you said, Chase is out, and I think this is going to be a big game for a guy like Hayden Hurst. Come in, make a lot of plays. He's going to be leaned on here. Obviously, T. Higgins is a great player for the Bengals. Tyler Boyd. We'll see what Mike Thomas can do if he's able to step up. And quite frankly, Nick, this could be a Joe Mixon game as well if they get the running game going. He's been underperforming a little bit by last year's standards, but I like to see him come out and set up the pass through the run. But Nick, what do you think about Hayden Hurst in this game?
So I think this is a big Hayden Hurst breakout game. And when I was looking at a kind of a comp situation here with the Browns that have played recently in the past few weeks, I look at when the Browns got absolutely throttled by the New England Patriots a few weeks ago. Because the Browns, and that was with Bailey Zappi, right? He was the quarterback for the Patriots. Because that's the kind of offense the Browns face against that Patriots team. It's going to be very similar to what Joe Burrow is going to throw up against them this Monday night. And let me explain about it a little bit. You brought about all those guys potentially having big games. With Jamar Chase out, it's sort of by committee an offensive attack with Joe Burrow pulling the strings. It's kind of what the Patriots did. If you go back to that game, you had Devontae Parker for the Patriots had 4 catches. Tight end Hunter Henry had 4 catches. Jonnu Smith had 60 yards receiving, had a 50-yard play. Jacoby Meyer, 4 catches. Tyquan Thornton, 4 catches. Again, by committee. And the Cincinnati Bengals have been kind of instituting that committee anyway, doing with the Burrow adjustments, letting Burrow kind of orchestrate traffic. And with Jamar Chase out, trust me, you're going to go to Hayden Hurst a lot. You're going to go to T. Higgins a lot. All those guys I already mentioned, Tyler Boyd. And I love the fact that in the last time that the Cleveland Browns played a team that was this multiple and as many threats as a team like the Bengals existed, they got absolutely smoked. And look, I love Bailey Zappi. I think it's a cool story. Bailey Zappi can't shine a light to Joe Burrow, and I'm looking for Joe Burrow to have a monster game. I think he spreads the ball around. I think he controls the game. The score may be close, but I'm looking at the Bengals to make a big statement here, and Joe Burrow specifically to kind of take over this game and give the Bengals a much needed division win.